Hola, amigos, y bienvenidos a. Oh, sorry, wrong show. Hey, everybody, this is Daniel G. Garza, and welcome to Healthy Humor. How's everybody doing? I always ask that like people are going to answer, like you're actually answering at home. But I'd like to introduce my co host, Alicia.
Hello, this is Girl 6. Ready? Oh, wrong show. Oh, wrong show. Oh, this is Healthy Humor. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I thought I was on Chronic Sex.
Hi, thank you for calling.
You want to live out your wildest dreams because I have a river that never stops flowing.
This is Candy Doll. What can I do for you today?
Wrong show.
There should be like a chronic illness sex hotline.
That's so funny that you say that because I was thinking about some jokes for the upcoming Healthy Voices conference. And I was like, wonder if there was a strip club for people with different disabilities. So, like I said this on the last show, we have a strip club called the Cheetah. And I always make jokes and say, well, I thought that was a club for girls with psoriasis. So today I was thinking, wonder if there was a strip club for people with arthritis called the Stiff Joint. So the people there have stiff joints, but you're sure to leave with a stiff joint.
That is perfect genius planning right there. If there could be a section, because I know people with colostomies or ostomies, we have body issues. So you would go in and make your bag grow. Like see how puffy you can make it and maybe draw a penis on it so that your penis grows.
Yo. And you could say it's a grower, not a shower. I love that.
Isn't it cool?
We really need to petition for that. Just because we have chronic illnesses don't mean we don't want to get naked for money too. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to have gone through anal cancer for nothing.
Right.
Make some money.
Hey. You know, the most awkward thing is when, well, you don't know, but you're at the gynecologist, you've never met this nurse, and then you just open your legs up, you know? Like one time, I'm always making jokes. So they were doing their thing. And I'm like, well, usually when this happens, I know the person's name. What's your name again?
Or when you, oh my God, why am I getting this visual? When, like the next time I go for my anal cancer checkup, as soon as he starts putting his hands near me, just to go, please deposit 25 cents.
I think you said something like this. Next time I'm going to be like, well, usually people take me to dinner before they do this part.
You know, nothing gassy. Oh my God.
Goodness. So how you been, Daniel? I know, we've kind of been keeping in touch and you've been going through some things with your doctor. What's the latest happenings with you and your doctor and your health?
Well, we broke up.
What?
Hold on, let me... I have tears in my eyes. Yes, I did not realize that you could break up with a doctor or a doctor could break up with you over text. I was dumped by my doctor via text.
What?
Yes. Like I said, I felt like the night before hookup and there was no breakfast.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have been, okay, we're advocates and we're always advocating for other people. And we see people go through situations. And somehow I had this idea that shit like that was not going to happen to me because I'm an advocate. I know better. So I have been victim to the, but you look good.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You walked in here. There can't be any pain. You look great. Because obviously my bones are all on the outside. And either that or my doctor is related to Superman and he has X-ray vision. X-ray man. But yeah, so my disability was up for review and I was thinking about it. In my 18 years with HIV, I had never been reviewed. I was grandfathered into the lifetime disability. But this year, a lot of people with HIV are being reviewed.
Okay.
because some of the rules from the government changed a lot of the rules. So we're being reviewed, which is fine. I was like, I've been on disability for 18 years. Post-cancer, things got worse. I don't see the problem. Everything should be, check, 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 check.
Right.
Well, this happens to come at a point where my doctor of 7 years retires. I get a newer, younger doctor, and I'm thinking, well, obviously he has all my charts and my records. Everything should be okay. But he had this thing called morals and standards. In his eyes, I look good, and I'm glad I look good. I don't want to look pathetic. Not to put down anybody who looks pathetic. If it works for you, go for it. But I work really hard in looking presentable and
you look fabulous.
Thank you.
You look fabulous. But there's such a misconception that because you look good, that you're not sick. Now, I have a visible disease, so, you can clearly see that there's something going on with me. But there are some unique challenges for people who have invisible diseases, and you get discriminated against all the time.
Well, I talked to you guys that Friday when things were not well, and I was completely devastated. I didn't leave my house until Monday. I basically stayed home all weekend, and that's a whole other show. In fact, I posted on the Healthy Voices 2018 page, I posted a video from the morning of Monday when I was leaving my house. I'd never seen myself so sweaty and so blotchy, well, other than sex, but in full panic. I was in full panic when I started taking that video. And I showed it to my ADAP person and I showed it to my pharmacist. And they were both kind of like, that is not even you. Like, what was going on? It actually reminded me, I just thought about this. It reminded me of my crack days. It reminded me of when I was doing crack.
Wait, you used to do crack?
I was a crackhead, yes. I was this.
Whoa!
I did drugs for about 16 years.
You went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. So
wow.
I was a smoker. I was a drinker. I was a drug user. I was decent at one point too. I had morals and standards. I laugh at that. I never did. Who am I kidding? But yeah, so then the doctor, I didn't respond much to him. I let him just speak his mind. I wanted to have the last word. And I realized that in this case, he had what I needed. And I needed him to have that control, which as an advocate, it was extremely hard.
That's what he said.
That's what he boom, boom. And I finally understood what a lot of people that come to me for suggestions are going through. I had to sit in that seat. I hadn't been in that seat in a very long time. So long that I'd forgotten what it was like. I was put in that position and basically my doctor bent me over, no lube, and then broke up with me in a text.
Wow.
I'm trying to find other humor into it, but I think that people listening to this are probably at home laughing on their own going, yes, little Mexican, you finally felt the wrath of the doctors. But it's horrible. It's horrible to not have that control. It was like I felt like a dominatrix without my whip.
Right.
Have you been through situations like that?
I've had issues with doctors. Now, I've never attempted to get disability, and I know that that's a different beast within itself. But, I've had doctors where you walk into the office and it almost seems like you know more about the condition than they do. And, that's not the truth, but the way they treat you, the way they try to just pass you along, the lack of engagement when you're in your appointments, the lack of customizing treatments that will work for your needs and your lifestyle, it just seems like they're not very knowledgeable. I remember an experience I had, this was probably about 10 years ago, and I was 90% covered with psoriasis, and I was just so frustrated. And I was at the doctor's office, and the nurse was doing my little intake, and I broke down crying while I was in the room because I was just so overwhelmed from having psoriasis. And she looks up at me, and she's like, are you okay? But it was real like, yeah. And I just kind of looked at her and she kind of looked at me. It was like a really awkward moment. And she just kept it moving through the intake. Like, didn't ask, what was going on. And that really was her opportunity to be like, hey, what's going on? I would have told her, well, hey, maybe we can suggest therapy or counselors or something like that. So it was just horrible.
Yeah. The doctor in his text, I think he was trying to be a smartass about it, like not have direct contact with me so that he wouldn't feel
Right.
But in the end, the dumbass basically put it on him. Like it's all written down. Like his lack of empathy, his lack of humanizing me, it's all on him. I was like, you're trying to be smartass about it, and it's going to bite you in the ass. Because now there's proof of the lack of skills that you have, how immature of a doctor you are.
Have you looked online at his ratings from other?
No. The sad thing is that he was kind of cute. I wouldn't have minded being felt up by him. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, look, I'm gay and I'm happy about it. So when you get a hot doctor,
I'm waiting for the day I have a sexy gynecologist. Because I'm telling you, when I go to that appointment, I'm gonna set it up like it's the fourth date. I'm gonna make sure.
There should be Tinder for doctors and a patient where you can scroll through your doctor and be like, what is it? Left, right. And then you look at me and then I look at him like, oh, he's a gynecologist. Who cares? I'll go anyway.
They'd be like, sir, you're missing a very important part.
Just dig in there. Find something to play with.
Oh, gosh. Help.
Oh, that just gave me a headache.
I wonder if there are any hot gynecologists.
Well, if anybody is out there listening and you have a hot gynecologist,
refer them to me.
Yes, and send us a picture so we can look at it. Post it on our page. So
I'm going to set up an appointment and then he's going to come in the room and I'm going to have candles lit and he's going to be like, what?
So instead of the regular gown, you'd be like a little Victoria's Secret negligee.
I just want you to be comfortable for our appointments.
Well, he's trying to take a peek. You're trying to feed him strawberries. He's like, what are you doing? You got little fondue chocolate strawberries.
How is it looking in there?
Oh my God. I can't imagine.
I don't mind going to a guy gynecologist. Like a lot of women are totally against that. But I'm like, I just need you to make sure the pipes are clean. So look away. All jokes aside, all the issues that you recently had with your doctor and trying to get disability, like what type of advice could you give to other spoonies who are going through the same issues?
Since it's a renewal thing, I'm already in the system. It's just about the continuation. I would say first question, like when you get that renewal paper, regardless of your situation, when you get the renewal paper, before you hand it over to your doctor, have a conversation about it and tell them, hey, look, I'm being reviewed. What is your opinion? What is your thoughts? Before you hand them, because once you hand them the paper, most of the doctor's offices will not give it back to you. They will mail it out for you so that you can't change any of the answers. And that was my mistake. So before you hand it over, talk to your doctor and say, hey, I am being reviewed for this. What is your opinion? And if he says, I do not feel comfortable doing that, then you can go in another direction, say, okay, I appreciate that. I will find the resources or the somebody who can back up my situation. Second, now that I've had everything in text, make sure that you do everything in writing. Tell him or tell her, I will email you my questions. Can you answer this for me? That way you have proof that your doctor said yes or no. Okay. So whatever they say on their paper, you can go back and go, well, I have this from you. Like, are you contradicting yourself? What's going on? And that way Social Security can find an alternative way of measuring you. And something that I have not done for myself, and I should have done it when I started having really bad muscle pains, is keep a journal of your pains and where you are. And
they have apps for that.
Yeah, and I'm so stupid that I tell people this on lots of levels, and I gave the advice and I didn't do it because there were mornings when I get up from bed and it sounds like my body is cracking itself. Everything is just cracks, or I get up from the couch and things crack. I think the last thing, be aware your physical is so connected to your mental.
Yes.
I have finally realized that
I found that out with sex. But anyways, keep going.
Yes, if it doesn't feel good, you're not going to know it feels good. But like my physical pains, which is connected to my anxiety of leaving every day, which is then connected to my mood around people, which then tenses me up and makes the pain even worse. So there's this big circle that I go around. Right now, I got home about 11, late lunch, had a phone appointment, and took a long nap. I took like a 3-hour nap today, and I woke up and everything hurts, especially with the weather here in LA, that it goes from warm to cool at night. As it gets later in the day, my body starts reacting to it. But then again, I've become a master illusionist of pain.
Mm-hmm.
You could be talking to me, and I don't think people realize that some of the times I'm just like, please shut up. I need to leave. Like I just want to go sit down somewhere, which is why I don't do a lot of networking at night. I can't do it. I don't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that just goes to prove that my life as a streetwalker at nights will not go through. I don't think my application,
the morning shift.
those morning crackheads that want to get it on, that's where I'm going to do.
That's going to be a different episode because we need to talk about that. Oh my gosh.
But yes, people, those are my pointers. I know that a couple of days from now, or once all this is resolved, all this with my doctor is going to be hilarious. Right now, it's still a little raw. I think it's horrible that somebody without advocacy experience can go through something like me.
Yeah, exactly.
And deal with such an immature doctor, not just mentally immature, but professionally immature.
Yeah. Yeah. I am like such a patient advocate because when I have an issue, because my issue typically comes in with the pharmacy, for example, and I raise hell. And it's not just for me, because I know that there are other patients who will give up way easier and not have the motivation. So I feel like I do have the motivation. I'm getting their ass if they're not doing right, and I'm doing it for other patients. So I don't want other patients to have to go through that.
Yeah.
Because I've been that patient where I'm like, you know what, screw this. This is too much work because of lack of empathy or, them just not knowing how to do certain things, certain processes that aren't right. So I feel you 100%.
Yeah. So for those of you, if you have any questions, if you are going through something like me, feel free to reach out, man. I will sit there and walk you through what I walked through. And
well, we want to thank you all for tuning in to Healthy Humor tonight. It's been a really great show. Thank you, Daniel, so much for being vulnerable and sharing your experience, because I know that really had you stressed out. If you want to chat with us, interact with us, give us some show ideas, you can check us out on Facebook on our Healthy Humor page. And you can also check out the Speaking to the Heart podcast network for other updates and other shows that are broadcasting. So again, thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the messages that we've been receiving in support. We love it. Keep sending them over along with chocolate and tacos.